Hey y'all, this is A Renee from Journal Jot and Jive. If this is your first time stopping by the channel, welcome to the channel. If you are a returning subscriber, hey. All right, by the title, it should say something like, I don't even know if I want to call it Playing With Me, but Wonderland Planner setup continued. Child, I don't know how to, we'll find a name by the end of this thing. I told y'all one day I'll get it together where I have the titles, but we still ain't got it together. All right, so I wanted to do a flip through of what I have already set up and show you some things that I will set up, and then I will set up a couple of pages on here. All right, so this is the Wonderland planner. It's the Wonderland 222 planner. It's a B6 size. The best way that I can describe a B6 is it's going to be in between an A5 and an A6. So it's like a little happy medium. All right. So I did a video a couple of weeks back. I will link it up here in the iCards. You can check it out. Please check it out after you watch this video, and it'll show you how I got this started. Okay. So I have been putting things in this planner because this planner will start out in December. So I started setting some pages up. So I have done a pen test page. I recommend doing a pen test page in your planner so you can kind of know what it's like to write on the paper and what pens work, what pens do not. All right, so after I did that page, I set up a 23 in 2023 page, and it's 23 things that I would ideally like to do throughout next year. And so I'm going to read this list. Do I have to read this to y'all, or can you pause it? There you go, you read it. All right, so after that, what I do as I'm planning my pages in my planner, and this kind of depends on what planner I'm using, but for this particular planner, I have taken sticky notes throughout this entire planner and put the things that I want to put on particular pages. So for this page, I would do a word of the year. Now, one thing I would like to say about the word of the year, if it ain't your thing, don't try to make it happen. Don't try to figure it out. I typically like to do words of the year to try to keep me focused. So this upcoming year, I have already selected the words I want to do: advance and network. So what I'll do, and I'll probably do this page a little bit later in the video, I'm going to do my word of the year on words, really, because I have two on this side, and then I'll go in and write some affirmations. Now, I probably won't do the affirmations today, but that's what I have in my mind of how I want this page to go on. All right, and so I don't think I had this done in the last video. So this is a snapshot view of the year. I decided that I wanted this to be a color coding system type of page. I don't necessarily have to write any words. I have the key at the bottom. I can go look at this color and say, hey, there are no schools on these days. So what I did was I went through and I pulled my son's school systems calendar for the upcoming year. If they had any digital days coming up, spring break, first day of school, Thanksgiving, and Christmas break. Then I also went in and put certain birthdays in here, which is pretty much going to be me, my mom, my sister, and I think my son, and did I do a couple other people? Nonetheless, a few birthdays have been put in here. And then vacation when it comes up. Once I get his football schedule, I'll go in with another color. I'll go ahead and do that. And anything else that I want to track so I can see it on here, that's what's going to go on here. Pretty simple and to the point. Because she wasn't about to try to figure out how to write super tiny in these lines. I can, but I'm not. So that's what I did for that page. Okay, so again, I called that the snapshot view. After that, I set up this first initial page. I discussed in the last video that this will be for health and wellness and self-care. So I have not planned anything yet in these months. When I do, I'll go in and plug that in. All right, after I did that, I began setting, well, hold on. I did a routine page. I've already put in the things for that routine. All right, and so after that, I decided I would go ahead and start setting up the December overview, because again, this particular planner gives you 1 month in advance to start. I like the idea of that because you can get comfortable using it, switch up things as you go, and figure out how you'll use this planner. So I am a huge component on a monthly brain dump, a weekly brain dump. So I decided, hey, let's go ahead and get our brain dump going for December, because honey, it is already November 14th. All right, December will be here when we blink. So I started my list and I broke these into categories for this month to try it and see is that how I like or what I want to do with those 4 sections. I don't know for sure, but we will see. All right, so I have self-care, finances, home life, work corner, and then my book club has already selected the book for December, so we will try that out. Okay, so I still have some extra room to write some things down. I haven't decided. I kind of don't like that this is like a notes page over here, but I may allow this to just be the whole part of December. And if I do so, I'll probably go in as far as like Christmas shopping, Christmas menus, and stuff like that. I'll put it over here. Have not completely decided. All right, and then we have December. I already started setting it up. As things come up, I'm going to go ahead in my monthly section and plug them in versus waiting for each month. I just don't think I want to do that in the upcoming year. If I can go ahead and plug something in, I'm going to plug it in. So I already have this plugged in for this month. Matter of fact, my son's school, well, not even school, the county decided that it will be a virtual learning day. So I will go in and write that down. And that'll be something y'all will probably see on screen when I speed it up. Now, as I told you, I was going to start writing things down. I went ahead and started writing things down that are coming up. My son has an ACT test for school, so I'm like, hey, go ahead and write that. I know that I'll be working on this day. Now, in my mind, I've decided that I think I'm going to switch how I do that, and I'm going to break these sections up in 3 different sections. I've been looking at a couple of videos on how people are using this. I don't know if I necessarily want to be time specific every single week. So I think on this previous week, I'm going to test it out and write like when I work in the salon down here and stuff like that. A to-do list maybe up there, menu. I don't know. I'm going to try something different on here. Okay, so that's what I did. I'm like, hey, you got stuff you can write down. Go ahead and write it down. And I even did that in January as well. Now, I didn't do my brain dump for January yet. But I did go inside this month and say, hey, let's go ahead and get the days he doesn't have school when the first semester starts. So that was pretty cool as well. And I'll go through and finish labeling when there's no school, just so I know how to plan and structure my schedule for work and anything else that's coming up. All right. So let's get to this back section. So this back section, this is going to be a little different. I know some people are using the HOBONICHI cousin, and their pages are structured different where there's a daily page each day. What allowed me to choose the Wonderland 222 planner over the HOBONICHI cousins was I didn't know if I necessarily wanted to journal every single day in my planner or if that's where I was going to journal at all. So I decided, hey, let's get something that gives me some flexibility, but I'm not confined to it per se. And if at any point I decide I'm going to get a HOBONICHI, it would be an A6, and it would be more of a memory journal planning type of situation, but we'll cover that on another day. All right, so I already created this page that says daily pages, notes, and ideas. And again, I didn't want to be confined to doing daily planning every single day. So what I decided to do is to go ahead and start tabbing what I want to do for these pages. So the other day I just wanted to play in some stickers, so I just put some stickers down, and I was like, girl, what you gonna do with this page? She ain't know. So I'll probably put quotes, affirmations, or something of that sort on here. Yeah, that's probably what's gonna go on here. All right, and so then when you flip over, remember I had that list, the 23 things in 2023. I'll insert a picture somewhere right here. What I did was I pulled from that list and decided, are there any pages that I can create from that list that I want to keep up? Well, one thing I want to do is this year keep up with my social media stats. That's not something that I normally do. However, I'm changing the way that I'll be doing journal, jot, and jive. Honey, say what's new. Y'all probably like, girl, you always changing it. I am until I figure out what works. So my goal is to be more present in the social media atmosphere as far as journal, jot, and jive. So I will start tracking my stats and seeing, you know, different things. So I'll create a page for that. You'll see a couple of question marks because I'm not sure if I'm going to do TikTok. I'm leaning more towards Pinterest. Then we have the YouTube video tracker. It'll be 23 videos. So one of my goals for 23 was to do 23 different YouTube videos. I'm pretty sure I'll do more, but I want to track those on here. So I'm going to create a cute little tracker and we'll do something on there. All right, so another thing on the list was try 4 tea shops, specifically tea shops, but I do want to try different coffee and tea shops. One of the things I want to introduce to this channel is going to coffee and tea shops and journaling or planning in those locations and being able to show you a glimpse of Atlanta or any other town that I'm in. Plant shops as well, I want to visit. I'm not going to confine myself to 23 plant shops. I'm just going to go to different plant shops and then I'll record where I went, and then new restaurants. So again, I don't want to confine myself to 23 of each of these because it didn't work out this year. So we're not going to try that in 23. The next thing I'm going to do is a book and a candle page. So I like books and I also like candles. I love burning candles, trying different candle shops. So I'm going to write the books that I've read for this year. I'm not going to do anything crazy like I'm going to read 23 books because she ain't going to do it. All right. So I'm just going to record the books. Now I may list the books that my book club does. It doesn't mean that I have completed all the books, but we do get through 12 books, I think, a year. Is it 12? It might be a little bit under as far as titles. Okay. I'm going to probably record those too. And I'm also going to create a shops visited section, and that'll be like the bookstores or the candle stores that I found locally. I want to find small, quaint shops and check those out. Next, we have spring break and college visits. So my son will be a senior next year. Lord, y'all, honey, he'll be a senior. So this year, I am looking to take him to his school choices. He has narrowed down to 4 that he would like to, you know, get admitted in. And of course, we will look at other schools as well. But I do want to give him the opportunity to check out those schools that he has selected. So I want to plan out those trips and some things that we need to do. I have a Jamaica trip coming up with my line sisters. I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So hey, sorors that are watching, make sure you share the video with some other sorors too so we can get this growing. And the D9, y'all can share it too. Anyway, I'll be going to Jamaica, so I need to plan that out and get my whole entire life because, you know, it'll be here before you know it. And then we have container gardening. So I tried out container gardening this year. It was pretty cool. A lot of my stuff didn't make it, but one thing that made it and did really well were my I grew spicy bell peppers, and they're really tasty, by the way. So I do want to focus on what I want to grow this year in my pots this year, and peppers is going to be one thing that I focus on. So I'm going to create a page and it'll have ideas, supplies, and notes. I'll probably put down like people that I like to follow on social media, or if there's a website that is very helpful, all of that'll go in here. Okay. So then we have senior year for my son. So I am actually going to create him not even him, me and him. He's going to have a notebook. So in a subscription box, Cloth and Paper has this notebook. And I was like, Lord Jesus, I got like 11 notebooks. What am I going to do with this notebook? Well, it's a whole lot that goes into planning for college, guys. You know, even though many of us have gone to college, I don't think we even realize the work that our parents, unless you specifically had to do it on your own, I don't think we realize all the work that went into it. So I will be keeping a notebook full of information that I need as a parent, tasks that he needs to do to hold him accountable. So I'll be doing that. And that is something that I'm considering showing on this channel. So let me know if you're interested in it. So if you got kids in elementary, middle school, let me help you. So when you get to that level, you will get there. And not only that, he's looking to play football. So it is a lot, and trying to keep it in here is not going to work. However, I will keep an overview of his senior year. So I'll do like, hey, his first semester class, his second semester, contact information, fees, like senior fees, senior football night, any of that stuff will go on here. And then I'll have his football schedule, his stats, his notes. I'll even put like his SAT scores, little stuff like that, just an overview. So if I have to flip through, then I have access to that. All right. And so that's the pages that I have so far. And then the last page in here is just like a scratch sheet. So if I need to try a highlighter, for example, if I'm I don't know what color is what, so I can just go in, and it's not going to always be super neat. It'll be a scratch sheet. Or if I have like an extra piece of washi, I like creating a washi wall. And matter of fact, let's write that right here. So when I have like washi and I'm tearing this an extra piece, I'm just gonna flip it back. Over time, it's just really neat to see all the washi on the wall. It's extra in this. It has nothing to do with any productivity or anything. It's just I don't want to waste the washi. That is how I am doing my planner so far. So I wanted to kind of come and give you like a walkthrough and talk. Y'all know I typically don't like talking this long, but some of y'all like explanations. So there's that. So that is the explanation of how I am using it. And now we're going to get into setting up some pages. All right, so let's get into it. Y'all, so I am completed with all that I'm going to do as far as today. So let's take a final flip through of what I did. All right, so in the front I went ahead and did the 2023 words of the year. I put my 2 words of the year, which are advance and network, and I went ahead and defined them. I highly suggest, if you're going to have a word of the year, know what it means, the why, and what it connects to, and even consider doing a journal moment about the words that you're choosing for the upcoming year. I put speak life, I affirm. I'll go in, I'll either write like a small journal entry, or I will do affirmations right there. So that's what will go in that section. We'll go ahead and flip to the back. So as you saw in the video, I set up the pages. A lot of them are pretty plain. These stickers were already here. And so I did finally decide I'm going to do 23 quotes and affirmations throughout this page. I know you're like, ooh, that ain't a lot of room. It'll happen. I'll make it work. All right, after that, we have our social media stats page. I did decide Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. So I will start working on my Pinterest, cleaning it up and guiding out to that page as well as I add new things to that page. 23 YouTube videos. I just drew the little symbol. And I haven't decided how I'm going to create the tracker, but I do think I'm going to draw in 23 YouTube symbols. And as I complete the video, I will shade it in and write the name of the video. Over here, we have the coffee, tea shops, plant shops, and restaurants. I'll write those in as I visit. I'm pretty sure by the end of the year, it probably will equal up to 23, but I'm not going to hold myself hostage to that number. And then we have books and candles. And I just put a couple of little words here. Turn the page, light the wick. I'll write the books that I've read, candles, and the stores that I visit throughout the year. Spring break, this is where I will plan for the college visits that we go on. Then over here I have Delta Sigma Theta Alpha Xi Spring 03. It's our 20-year anniversary in 23, and so I'll do trip details over here. And then I have the container gardening, and
did I say that right? Gardening. I think I did.
I'll say I did. Anyway, notes, websites, brainstorming, supplies, tips, and then what I decide to plant. So whatever I plant will go under here. And then the final page that I have so far is senior year, the football page. So senior year will have his classes and stuff, any notes right there. The schedule, fees, notes, and reminders, and then his stats will go there. All right, so this is how I start planning, y'all, and setting up my pages. Like I said, I don't want to get into the space where every week I have to set up a page. And yes, it would be nice for videos. However, I do want to make sure that I have some consistency in my life and I'm actually getting things done and I'm not waiting to bring it to you. I can always have the page done and explain it later down the line. All right, so there is that. All right, y'all, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification bell so every time I post, you are in the know. All right, I'll catch you on the next one.